What up, everybody? I want to go ahead and address something. I know this ain't drama related or anything, although I'm sure a certain prideful lizard is going to try to make it into drama because, he's blinded by his pride and, hatred, of course. But it's whatever at this point, Nonetheless, though, what I want to go ahead and talk about is this latest Nintendo Direct that they showed off, which they announced it, and made it more than abundantly clear that it was going to be nothing but a partner showcase, which means that all they was really going to talk about or announce or whatever was third-party games. Even though you still have the Nintendo fanboys and, quite frankly, morons thinking that, oh, well, now we're going to get an announcement for a new 3D Mario game or something like that or whatever. And it never happened. And I knew it wouldn't happen. So, yeah. I mean, heck, we couldn't have even got the little bit of thing that I thought might have actually been realistic to happen. Like DLC for Age of Imprisonment being announced or something. But, yeah. Yeah, that couldn't have even happened. No, instead we got some announcements of some third-party titles. I'm going to be honest, I mean, I don't really get excited for anything third-party on Nintendo because I know it's either going to be a key card situation or it's going to be just a digital code in the case. Which means that you're pretty much going to have to go out and buy a micro SD card just to play that one game. Yeah, because that's literally how much storage some of these games take up whenever they rely on the whole key card or just digital code situation. So, yeah. That's why if I can't get an actual physical copy of the game that don't take up a ton of storage, then I just say heck with it. Or I'll just get it on the Xbox Series X instead or something like that. So yeah, because my goodness, it's cheaper to buy another hard drive. Heck, it's actually cheaper to buy an 8 terabyte hard drive for the Xbox Series X or PS5 than what it is to get a micro SD card for the Switch 2 that only gives you like maybe 256 gigabytes. Like, that's insane. There's no excuse for that. That's just corporate greed when it's all said and done. But yeah. Anyway, though, I'm going to be honest. I mean, even if they were in physical format, there would have only been like maybe 1 or 2 games tops that would even remotely catch my interest. I'm not one for Resident Evil. Never have been, never will be. I did like Resident Evil 6 because I used to play that with my brother because, we wanted something that we could play together. During that time, we would play a lot of co-op games because that's back when gaming was really good in terms of like couch co-op type of games to play. Not only we had Resident Evil 6, we had games like, the Left 4 Deads, we had the Halos, the Gears of War, back before those series were overly milked and everything. Had the Army of Twos, so many good games to play, like in terms of like cooperative shooters and whatnot. And yes, Resident Evil 6 is one of them that we love to play. So yeah, but nonetheless though, with that being said though, yeah, I know that the new Resident Evil game's coming to the system and a lot of people are excited for it. It's whatever that, y'all want excited for it, great. Me personally, I don't really care. There is one game that they did announce that I will end up getting for the Series X because I'm not going to deal with that keycard crap. And that is Pragmata. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. You're playing as what looks like some kind of like heavily armored, person. He looks like he's like in like this really future tech type of stuff. And then you have like this robotic girl following you around, and she looks like Megan from that one movie, the Megan movie or whatever. So yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to. I wouldn't mind getting it, but if I do get it, it's going to be for the Series X. So yeah. Another game they announced for the Switch 2 that I probably would break my whole not getting games if it's a key card situation. This is probably the only game I would break that rule for, and that is WWE 2K26. And that's only because I want a really good wrestling game to play on the go. So yeah, because I literally took my Switch 2 on the go with me today, to play in my downtime while I was working. And yeah, really like playing on the go, so I wouldn't mind having a good working wrestling game to play on the go as well. So, yeah. But again, with it being a key card situation, still not going to get all excited. I'll still be waiting for a price drop on it and everything before I get it, so yeah. The other game they announced that I thought was kind of cool was Fallout 4 with all the DLC. Then I looked up on Amazon and found out that it's not even a key card. You know what it is? It's just a case and artwork, with a downloadable code inside the thing. So you're not even getting a key card with that. So it's like, screw it. I'll just stick with play on the Xbox Series X. I mean, at least you have better mod support on that edition of it. Just saying. I mean, the mod support for the Xbox edition is almost on par with the PC edition. So yeah, yeah, the mod support wasn't that great on the PS4 edition, but it really was on the Xbox Series X edition or whatever. So yeah. And then the other game that I thought was pretty cool that they're bringing to the Switch too is Oblivion. You know, the remastered one that looks like a whole new game and everything. I thought the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, like, hell yeah. But the thing is, it's probably going to be the same situation as what Fallout 4 is. I don't know it for a fact yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being just a digital code within a case. You know, so again, nothing to get excited for. You know, that's the problem, man. I mean, if you don't mind having to buy a micro SD card every 2 or 3 games, then whatever. But, you know, for me, I don't want to have to go out and buy a micro SD card every 2 or 3 games. You know, I know I'm going to have to get one regardless because I have a lot of digital games and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I don't want to have to be forced to get one just because of one game or 2 games or whatever, you know. It's crazy having to get a micro SD card that often. So, yeah, especially given how expensive they were. It'd be different if they were still the same price as what it cost to get a PlayStation 2 memory card back in the day or a GameCube memory card back in the day or whatever. But that's not the case no more. You're not just paying $20 or something. No, it's like almost $100 and higher. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I knew this was, the Direct wasn't going to be announcing anything big or whatever. I mean, it did surprise me a bit when I found out that, Elder Scrolls Oblivion was coming to it, but again, they did recently release a physical copy of that game for the Series X. So again, that's another game I'll be getting for the Series X. Like I said, my whole lineup of third-party games I'll have for the Switch 2 is going to be very, very small. Like I said, I'll probably break my key card rule for WWE 2K26, but that would be the only one I do that with. You know. And then other third-party titles I'll have for it will obviously be something like Yooka-Laylee Replay-Ly, because, that I played the demo of it. It's like playing a whole new game, so like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it don't rely on the keycard thing. You're actually getting a physical copy of it. And then there's a couple of other titles, like there's this Disney collection, of old Disney cartoon series, like the Goof Troop and things like that. So, yeah, I'll be getting that, Things like that, basically, is what I'll be getting when it comes to third-party games. So, yeah. I'm just saying, man. Nintendo never has and never will be the system to go for third-party titles. Let's just keep it real on that. That's why, yes, they are kind of stupid to be putting more focus on third-party releases and whatnot instead of, big Nintendo exclusives. But it is what it is at this point, so yeah. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.